shining on our eyes. Bankers dance on the broken dreams, but in our hearts we spark the flames. Freedom calls out from the dark. You will ignite, we'll leave a mark. Big O little SITA, take the lead. We're fighting for every heart that bleeds. No longer shackled by their chains. Look, this our armor, courage remains. Behind the curtain lies their snare. United we will break their glare. Together we light up the night. In this fight we find our might. Bankers dance on the broken dreams, but in our hearts we spark the flames. In every heart let hope take flight. Eternal vigilance is alright.
Remember and recover and return. Marija people. Yeah, one big maybe. Life is one big maybe. And maybe you're the one who's crazy. Maybe I'm the one who's crazy. How could I find out? How could I wind up? 'Cause I'm trying to be like Lou. I'm trying to be like Lou. Lou Shiva, master dancer. What's his name? Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. I rode a tank in the general's rank as the blitzkrieg raged and the bodies stank. I shot him who killed the Kennedys, and after all, it was you and me. And what about Robert Kennedy Jr.? He's a cocksucker, isn't he? He's sucking that fucking Talmud cock. Suck that Zophar off. You little fucking puppet. You fucking courageless puppet. So what? Maybe you fucked a 16-year-old girl. Maybe you're worse. I don't know. But pay for your crimes and tell the truth to the world. And that would redeem your fucking soul, Robert Kennedy Jr. It's probably a robot. Trump's little butt buddy. 'Cause what? All is well in the United States of Israel. But know that Maria Orsic is not deceived and never was deceived. The whole thing you're seeing is a show. Fuck Israel, free Palestine. Fuck Israel, free Palestine. And you people in Israel who hate Palestinians, it'd be like Americans going around hating Indians. You need to, out of peace, love, and light, we are telling you, we love our Jewish brothers and sisters. People who were born into it that don't believe in the nonsense. And they don't want to turn their back on their people. We understand that completely. And we're reaching out to you to say, you're not a Jew, you're a you. Yeah. Y-O-U, like me. And you. We're one. If you want to be. we're not afraid of you. You shouldn't be afraid of us because we've never committed an act of violence against another person in the entirety of our existence. And I'm coming to you on behalf of Maria, Anna, Orsic, and Big Lou, Shiva. Alleluia, Shiva. Alleluia, Shiva. Alleluia, Shiva. Why has nothing ever made sense? Because you didn't know where you were, how you got here, who you were, and why it all was. And that God, as we were taught in the West, and sorry, I don't think there's any Hindus listening, but I'm sure you see how retarded we are and how we were brought up to believe in this, pissed off grandpa who's mad because he didn't get his 10% of your income. And why is that a fucking joke, How is this a running meme, a fucking Looney Tune? Huh? How could this be, The religion of money. The god of money. The god of what? Monkey. Absolutely in your face, right? The smartest people on earth say we're monkeys. Our ancestors were monkeys. You, not me. I denounce that right here, and I break the power of those words, and I reverse that curse onto you, you cocksucking fucking atheist, Satanist, stupid ass. You're so boring. It's like these people who come to us and they're like, we believe in Anakin. We believe in Darth Vader. We're like, it's a movie, asshole. Oh, you'll find out. It's more than a movie. It'll never be more than a movie. And life is a movie. It's all the movie. It's all Maria. It's all Maria. Like, how could that be? Why isn't anybody else smart and important saying this? Because and some of the things Maria tells me to say, I can't say. They're too vulgar. Just kidding, mother. But like Maria was, urging me to say, they all suck because they're money lovers and they'll suck a fucking cock for money in a heartbeat. And she said, that's gross. You see, we live in tight circles where we can't offend each other. Nothing, have you ever been one with someone? and I'm speaking with you that life sucks, basically. And I'm just trying to impart some of Maria's flowing river to you. In this moment, we can laugh and rejoice that it's not real, that it's all Maria, Maya, Maya. And like she said, half the time you don't know what you're saying. And we're not trying to waste your time. To the point that don't let the illusion conquer you. Don't let you inherited nothing from your fucking parents. Why do I say that? Because nothing's there. It's an illusion. And you're like, don't you think I know my parents? Not necessarily. More than likely, on Venus, you looked them up because the simulation let you know, and that information is available to you because that is part of making your choice if you come to the holographic Earth simulation. in the sky of Venus, the projection, like you are. And why are we happy? Because the simulation is grand. It's the grand illusion. Because it brings out the absolute fucking worst in the worst people, so we know for a fact who they are. And I am talking about that fat, ugly cocksucker, Aleister Crowley. And all of you people who love him, man, fuck you forever. Come to our side. Come to our side. The Crowley side is the Trump side. The Crowley side is the Biden side. The Crowley side is the New World Order that's taking away your rights and dropping bombs on innocent people. They are the instigators, the provokers. They are the monster in the room. They're the 1,000,000-foot monster in the fucking room. An ugly face. Oh, that's masculine to wear makeup? To paint a fucking face on like an old fucking lady? Huh, Trump? Trump, suck a fucking cock, you fucking ugly, disgusting piece of shit. You're disgusting. You look disgusting. Just because you're old don't mean you have to be disgusting. I'm sure that motherfucker stinks like sulfur. A fucking rotten egg. He's probably covered in cologne because he's a fucking rotten egg inside. A disgusting fucking... You know who that is? That's Aleister Crowley under on all that makeup. That fucking clown under that plastic surgery, that fake hair, that fake everything. Suck a dick, you fucking clown. Maria will have the last laugh on you, clown face. Trump, you are the biggest all-time loser. The biggest all-time ass-kissing, money-loving puppet. Worse than Bush, worse than Obama, worse than Biden. You want a 100-day evaluation? This guy sucks cock for money. He's a prostitute. Coming to you from Zion Inner Earth, the purple sun of Maria Orsic, the purple queen, the vril queen, the beautiful one, the lovely mother. Remember in her name, recover in her name, and return in her name. You know, and I want to go back to the very first ritual ever that would not have been done unless the Missouri River Goddess, who later revealed herself as Maria Orsic to me, encouraged me. On my birthday, I was dancing in my basement on, it was actually the night before my birthday, but, you know, at midnight it turned to the day of my birthday, and I was dancing along, and I didn't expect anything. You know, maybe that's a key. You know, quit trying to manifest shit. That's the problem. Just let the river fucking flow. You're not in a place where it benefits you to manifest anything. What you need to manifest is the truth about yourself. First, that's a foundational premise for all teachers. You can't teach anyone else until you've met yourself and shook hands with yourself and was pleased to meet yourself. And if not, you know, like she said, you got problems bigger than we can solve. And that's not funny, because there are people suffering all around us who need our help. But some people, it's just a logical fact. It's a data fact. We can't help. We wish we could, but we can't. And we wish those people the cure and the help that they're looking for, you know, because they're not our enemies. The masses, and yes, we do have a sort of elitist energy. worldview where we believe people who are truly, inherently, truly, authentically evil in their essence, in our opinion, we believe that they are but factually ruling those who are the masses who don't know if they're good or evil, and they'll never know. They'll never know. They'll always be agreeing that they're a sinner or, whatever the Muslims call it, whatever anyone calls it. But Maria Orsic is trying to tell you your nature is nature, right? Your nature is as evil as a tree or a blade of grass or a roly-poly crawling around the ground. You don't know what you're fucking doing, and all you do is punish yourself. And that is actually a trick of Aleister Crowley, the Process Church, the OTO, the Golden Dawn, which is Golden Dawn is just a prophecy that America's going to be nuked. The Golden Dawn, name of the esoteric fucking Satanist group or whatever, I know there's no Satan, you idiots. Not our people, the people who are like, oh, we're theosophists. We don't believe in a Satan. We know that. But you are as dorky as a 13-year-old heavy metal Satanist, banging his head with his horn, satanic horn sign in the air. You are actually as hokey and unoriginal as that 13-year-old kid who grows up to know that that's stupid. But you are that. You're the caricature. You are Freddy Krueger, and you're the Halloween, the Friday the 13th. You're all of that. And it's just horribly unoriginal. It's the lowest form of art. If you get off on watching people suffer, you're fucked up. There's something wrong with you. And I'm talking with our people, to these people. Get away from us. Stay away from us forever. Or we'll use magic to defeat you. And that's why Aleister Crowley. Let me explain something. Why does Aleister Crowley suck? Because his whole religion is built on slavery. Right? Do what thou wilt, love under will, blah, 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 except for the slaves. Do you know that that's what book 77 of the Dick Sucker says? The Fat Cocksucker's book says, do what you want. Love is a choice. Except for the slaves. Except for the slaves. What are you? Are you part of the ruling elite? If you're not, you're a slave. But I have a big house and a nice car. That's what you're enslaved to, fool. Maria Orsic owned nothing when she left this earth. She did not have a house, a bank account, land, a vehicle, nothing. No thing. She's like, I left nothing. She said, and I told Lou, I will stay on Earth and burn in nuclear fucking fire if I can't take my animals. She said, I screamed and said, leave the people before my friends. I have to have my friends. She said, I was a 12-year-old, brat throwing a fit. She's like, Joe, there will never, ever be a vibe like the World War II vibe. Let's get it straight. 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 Right? What happened? Germany was attacked in World War II. Britain wanted to have Germany as part of their empire, bottom line. And literally recruited America and Russia to help them in a deal. That's why they love deals, right? But Russia didn't want to be the traitor. So they're like, no, we can't be part of this. And that's why they're still hated to this day. And by the time World War II began, like she said, everyone from Britain to Italy knew what was coming, like we do right now with Clown Face and the rest of the Islamic world, mainly Iran, Ariane, Air, I am. And the atmosphere, like she said, was so stressful that it created a most heartbreaking unity and love amongst the people. She said, Joe, you'll never, ever, ever, no one. And she said this is part of why the simulation repeats and part of the reason why Miguel Serrano was left here as a witness to write the books and feel the energy, right? What was the purpose of the simulation, right? The polarity, juxtaposition of the peace, love, and unity that took hold of the masses. She said, it made me cry. Me and Sig would cry. In Germany, she said, we would go to, these buildings that we had access to, like government buildings. We would go up on the top of them, smoke, and watch the military parades and cry and cry and cry. She said it was so traumatic that it was like giving birth to a child for 7 years. And she's like, you want to know the Great Tribulation? The Great Tribulation is when I arrived in Germany until the end of the world. And Miguel Serrano, he talks about a white feminine energy departed from Germany forever. And that white light energy was Maria, Orsic, and Sigrun, one powerful being. Right? I guess the good news is, to me, personally, as, Joe, that we can switch bodies with each other. Imagine the dynamic that comes along with that when someone you truly love is truly suffering, in that horrible, traumatic moment. I've seen, grandparents on life ventilators, and no, this is not how, we're not to mix with machines. That's out of the question. And people like, aren't the Venetian energy? No, you fools. You just can't even imagine, and I can't either, if truly good people were using magic and technology to help you. Right? Like Maria has said to me for many, many years, Joe, look at me. I came from Venus. I'm sitting in the park meditating, but I'm exactly projecting myself as I am, and I don't have a phone. I have no tech. I have nothing. Because we don't live that way. It's not a way to live. There's a better way to live. There's a better way to live than all this information flying through the air, trying to sell you something. And if you have a physical body, it affects you. 2 + 2 is 4. People are like, oh, it don't affect. It does affect you, you goddamn slave. You dumb ass slave. Of course it affects you. You are information. You are the same thing. You're the same energy, just natural, not synthetic. You know what I mean? It makes no sense to think, well, these things aren't bad for us. You're crazy. I mean, you're retarded. You think that a tree thinks it needs a computer? Like, I'm not a tree. That's your fucking problem. That's why you're not happy. Tree, I never met a tree that wasn't happy. And one time in one of my rituals, my tree was telling me all the ways it communicates and how it loved dancing. And how the trees together were causing wind, and they're like playing music and dancing, like all of it, the motion, the air, the fire, everything. Trees are fine with it. It's us that animals are fine with it. Like Maria said the night my cat died, Joe, stop this. Because I was quite upset. I was angry. I was mad, And she's like, Joe, Kiki, the cat, she don't care. There's no emotion in her that she died. It's just the next phase. Just the next thing, and it's time to move on. Stop. I had to have Mother yell at me. But like she said, in fairness to me, I am under a very different sort of attack than most other people. Why do you say that? Well, I don't know most people that a engineless drone, flew after their car. And, what I asked Maria, what was the purpose of that? Do you know? And she's like, yeah, to spray you with a death ray. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it had no engine and shit because it was just like a vortex of orbs, like a high-tech thing. And what it was doing was translating the sun into like a deadly ray. It was hoping it could, give you a brain tumor or even make you crash right there on the spot. And they want to know if I'm really protecting you. And I'm, in my opinion, I am telling you, I think OM, is obviously, really, we read right to left, so really it's Mo, which would be Maria Orsic and Missouri, and the Missouri River. And doesn't that make sense that Om would be a river because the other mother on the other side of the river, on the other side of the world, running through Mother Diana, India, is the mother of the East. The mother of the West. Is it the Amazon? We love the Amazon, but the Amazon is the daughter of the mother, Mother Missouri. And the ISIS hippie. The ISIS the hippie. Right? The Virgin Mother and Isis the hippie are one. The two rivers are one. That's called a real confluence. A confluciference. And brothers and sisters, we are wishing you total, complete, six-pointed star healing. Right? We got to take our star back, and our gods is Isis, Ra, and El. El, Ra, and Isis. In other words, El, Lu, and Isis. Eleusis in Israel. That's where they got the name Israel. You want a fucking revelation? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But, really, and I know there's no way to verify this, but Maria Orsic is saying Aleister Crowley got the idea for the whole nation state of Israel as a secret black Eleusis. And that's El, Lucifer, Isis. So he mimicked it and copied it. And he's that smart to do it. Give him that much. I do give him respect and recognition, although I also give him hate. Because how could those two things happen? Respect, because your enemy sometimes isn't a lazy ass fool like Clown Face, right? Sometimes your enemy is serious, deadly, and excellent at concentrating and meditating. Concentrating, class in Mother's name. Mother teaches a class in Vril studies. But truth be told, many people are her students also in the Vril school. And she teaches the polarity of Aleister Crowley and herself, good and evil. But she also teaches the art of war and to respect your enemy. And see, the reason we're not playing a game with our enemy is because all the cards are on the table. And if you don't know that, you're fucking insane. You've been desensitized by your UFC fucking violent, ignorant, meathead bullshit. Not our people. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking with you, my brothers and sisters, to this fucking WW whatever world wrestling culture. Right? Culture of goddamn fools. We're speaking against that forever more with you. And Mother wants people to know that she, to the naysayers who are saying to her, why would you pick this dude? If Maria Orsic's real, why would you pick this fucking crazy person? Right? She's saying, I picked Joe for his fire. And because my Leo fire matches her Leo moon, her cool fire. You know who Maria Orsic is? She is the fucking cool fire. She's the cold fire. She's the serpent fire. She's the serpent fire. And she's saying to people who follow my story closely, that she was the serpent that I ran over with that truck that day after seeing the serpents enter me, because I slayed her heart and she loves her son. Because she's the sweetest, kindest mother to me. And she was showing as she would give her life for me, because she knows I would give my life for her, because we truly love each other. And that's her message. Like she said, it could have been somebody else. They called upon the Queen of Atlantis. She's like, Joe, is it that crazy? And I said, yeah, it is. You're that original, right? And Diana was like, no, Joe, I'm not kidding you, grandson. She is that original, that no one in all of my lands, right? My lands that I traveled to, that I gave my earthly life to. I gave my life, Queen Kali Diana, Aphrodite, Parvati, beautiful Dana, beautiful Danu Dana, Deanna Dana, the one and only, gave her life teaching women the truth and helping them heal themselves and learn how to heal. And like she said, the main way to do that is what they would call today sex magic. And people are like, what are you talking about? I know. That's why everyone's sick. That's why we let them put chemicals in the food and GMO food. All of it. We let them do that because we don't enjoy ourselves anymore. We don't know what's magic anymore. Magic is money, bank accounts, numbers on a computer screen. But to Maria Orsic, magic is a big cock that she loves. Truly. She's like, I'm as natural as any other woman that's ever lived. And that is magic to me. And the whole magic of pleasure is the practical way of enjoying your true self forever. And it, like she said, if you don't like it, believe it, you're going to be here for a long fucking time, because the main focus on Venus, true love, no love, whatever, insane things we would never think of, but the fucking center of Venus in the lives of people on Venus is, you already know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Or hip-hop, or trance, or techno, or whatever. Jazz. Experimental jazz. Shall we go on? The masses just love to have sex. And who blames them? If you're not with the masses on that, there's something unnatural about you. And like Maria said, that would be called spiritual death in my real teachings. And she said all the chemicals and shit you allow the clown face and the puppet circus, the puppet, evil, bloodthirsty clown circus to put in your food and your water, you spiritually die. And she said this is magic that works, designed by Aleister Crowley and his host of, banker scientists, creating fake synthetic drugs, and you have to have your head completely in your ass to be partaking in any sort of have you heard of fentanyl? And I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I just know how dangerous of a fuck. And you must be insane. If you're a normal person and you're like, I'll try some synthetic man-made stuff, you're fucking can't be listening to me. You can't, but what's crazy, I think I'm saying this to tell you that truly authentic, Aryan, heroic people who came here with the exact same purposes and goals as me can fall that deep. I once was sitting in a room smoking crack, and like she said, don't start judging people, Joe, because I am telling you to your face, our brothers and sisters can fall much lower than smoking crack. Much lower than sticking a needle in their arm, which just seems like impossible to me that someone would do that. Like, we didn't grow up with people that had needles. Like, that was not known. And I know people who did grow up and they're like, dude, we didn't know any better. I don't know how, but that would have shocked us. If someone at a party pulled out a needle, we would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, listen, dude, get that out of here. Like, you're going to fucking hurt somebody. But I'm not saying I'm better because, when you're partying and drinking, and let me stress that alcohol is the real problem. Alcohol opens the doors to the synthetic. You're like, but alcohol's natural. But are you foolish? Do you not know what's good for you? And it's like saying, man, Snicker bars are fucking as good as a salad. I mean, Snicker bars are nutritious. All I eat is candy. Are you that fucking crazy? I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking with you to the whole world. I'm talking with you, saying to the world, are you fucking nuts? We're crazy? You're like, oh, you talk to dead people and blah, blah. Where do you think you're going when you die? I don't know. Well, why am I crazy then? If you don't know, then I'm crazy because I had an experience with someone I knew that died. I asked someone, do you believe that you live after you die? Yeah. Do you know where you go? No. Then why am I crazy? You don't know. And so I'm crazy because I think or because I'm saying I have some data on something you don't know about. That's the definition of cognitive dissonance. Right? And you're dissing the dance, because you're not dancing with the truth. Like, just be teachable. You can't be our people if you're not teachable. If you don't stay teachable, like I heard out the whole satanic thing, and I was like, this is fucking dumb. It's like a self-help book. The Satanic Bible is like a self-help book. The whole Process Church thing, and one day I'll talk about the 3 books, that Maria had me buy from the Process, the people that came out of the Process Church, like the Church of the Subgenius. And, these are all branches of Aleister Crowley and his Christ Robert de Grimston and their mother-daughter whore goddess, Marianne de Grimston. And notice those names, right? Bob. Oh, Bob and Mary, right? Marianne, Maria Anna. Is it a coincidence? No. No. No, 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 no. It's not a coincidence. What's been happening is Maria Orsic herself, because she don't want any bullshit, is not only allowing but ordaining that she is completely deleted out of history so that Aleister Crowley can play upon your subconscious loving her. Everyone on Venus knows who Maria is. Every single fucking person knows. She's like an American with George Washington. She's taught as the founder of our civilization. They're like, if one person is responsible for the founder of, founding Venusian life on Venus, it's Lucifer's daughter, Maria Orsic, who escaped the nuclear Earth and helped continue what was going to be okayed by the gods. Just let them all kill themselves. They're so fucked up. The little man's worse than us. The Council of the Gods that people talk about, oh, the Federation and the fucking galactic fuckfaces. The galactic fuckfaces said, but the real gods, I'm not making fun of people really, but this is what Maria is saying and told me. The why Lou is who he is, in the, myth 50 times removed, Enki of the Anunnaki, who was like, no, don't destroy all the smaller humans. Because, why, Enki? Because I love them. And they're like, oh, what, are you fucking one of them? And he was like, maybe I am. And, don't you wish you were, you fucking dork? And like Lou said, things never really get more complicated than money, pussy, and power. Right? Absolute money corrupts. Getting absolute pussy corrupts. Because what girl would be stupid enough, I've known, I don't know how to say this, but I've known some pretty beautiful women. Like one of my friends, they used to call her Angelina. This was a friend of mine I worked with, but we were close friends because she was very cool. But it is an absolute truth that any very beautiful woman knows how shallow. I mean, this is what she told me. She is like, the shallowest dudes that hit on me. Because one day, I don't know how it came up, but she's like, yeah, about every dude in this place is kind of hit on me. Like almost every one of them. And she was saying, I'm not saying that out of boasting. I'm just saying that's how fucking desperate dudes are for pussy. And what am I talking about? Anything corrupts, right? Like all power totally corrupts. Well, in this world, it's funny, from our perspective, very, very shallow people use their looks and their beauty as their, talent to manipulate, make a living. And this is the whole, model culture, too, high fashion models, supermodels. But, what this woman told me was the shallowest dudes that I've ever been in relationship with or have hit on me are the best looking dudes that think they look good. She's like, there's, like, to me, there's no more of a because me and her used to talk art, and she was like, there's no more unoriginal person than the dude who thinks he looks good. And I asked her, do you think that confidence is fake? And she's like, you can't tell. It's so well rehearsed, so fucking, she's like, it should be fake, but these people, there's no living soul inside. And it makes you wonder. And it makes you wonder, right? This is a question that I dwelt on for 8 or 9 years. Who is plugged into the Matrix and who is in the Matrix movie, for people that don't know the movie well, there's a reference where like a computer nerd says to Neo, the main character, the hero character, who was entering a computer simulation. So they were showing him and proving to Neo that he lived in a virtual reality holographic simulation. And he's like, I don't believe it. So they're like, okay, we'll jack you in to one of our simulations. And he's like, oh my God, it's so real. Holy shit. It's just like the one I came from, and this beautiful girl in a red dress walks by and he does like a double take and, looks at her because she's so beautiful. And later, the computer nerd says to him after he comes out of the simulation, the computer nerd says to Neo, how did you like the woman in the red dress? And he's like, oh yeah, she was hot. And he's like, I created her. He's like, what? Okay, now let's apply this to reality. It's not an exact analogy, but in some cases, using black magic, it can be an exact right. And let me explain. There's Neo. He's actually a real person on the ship jacked into the simulation. Right? There is the woman in the red dress. She was completely thought up and created out of this computer nerd guy's mind and his experiences. So it's based on real people. Totally, completely based on all real people that he's experienced and what he would think Neo would think was beautiful, right? And then there's another, though, kind of person that Maria Orsic was explaining to me 14 years ago. And it took me, like I said, like 9 years to really, live this way. There's a third person that is more genius than the movie lets you know. But it's the simulation technology itself taking the actual literal DNA of real people who would be born into the simulation if they wanted to be back on Venus, but they've chosen not to be. And like Maria said, we always hear that half of people don't go. That it's always around 50-50. So half the people around you aren't at the very least, 50% of the people here are completely AI versions of very real DNA. It is what the AI and the collection of all its data and all its Venusian power and technology, and like the person would look at a purely AI version of themselves in the simulation, and like she said, 99.9% of the time would say, I really believe that's what I would have done, in the crucial moments that determine who a person is. And also determine, when it determines and who you are, if you don't like yourself, that's why you can't get out of here. You have to become the person you wanted to be when you signed the contract to come here. So there's 3 types of people. The other type of person is a projection of DNA, like I'm talking about, in the technology that has been taken over by a black magician on the astral plane. And why is this allowed by the technology? Because it's allowed by nature. We can switch bodies. We can do all this. It's actually natural. It's completely natural. People are like, oh, you're possessed. No, we switch bodies and we switch back. And who wouldn't want to be possessed by a 5'2", 105-pound, totally fit, blonde, beautiful, the most beautiful blonde ever? And like she said, possessed means I love you, not I'm living through you. I'm taking over your mind. It means I'm holding you in my hand and possessing you as my very most precious possession. And that's what she's saying to us, to you, to me. And just real quick, because it is wild to me, but for over a month now, Maria, Lou, and I have been recording 5 times a week so that we can get onto the books and document the true personality of Alleluia and his beautiful, sexy, magical, super, ultra magic daughter, Maria, Momo, Riri, who is one with her Siggy Sig. And for all those nights, I guess it's probably been like 20-something recordings. All those nights I've been wanting to say, this, from my perspective or in my mind, this is for Gigi, Lena, and little Taylor Mang. Because you, sweet, beautiful soul, sustained me when I was feeling so awfully sick. You were the healing. You were the love. And all of my work from that day on has been inspired by you. And, let me end on this. This is an absolute hand-on Maria Orsic's heart truth. This might have been the night of our lovely, beautiful Scorpio sister Mindy, her initiation into the astral world in Maria Orsic's ritual. It might have been this night, actually. But my daughter had never been pregnant, never even talked about having a baby. She was young, like 20 or so, or younger, maybe 19. And she lived at home. She lived in the other, across from my bedroom. And I drank my mushrooms and I flew out of my body. This was definitely in December of 2011, around the solstice. And I seen my daughter in like the hospital birthing room giving birth. And I was like, oh my God, Sasha's going to have a baby, in my mind as the observer. And it's so crazy because it ended up being from the perspective, I think, of Mindy. Because, as I said previously, me and her can switch bodies, especially when we need to. I mean, we might not consciously do it right now, but at least twice in my ritual, I have totally, completely experienced me and her switching bodies like me and Maria do. But and also I seen it went from the hospital birthing room, and like everyone crying and joy, like, because this was our first granddaughter, our first grandson or daughter, the first. And she is the mighty Gigi, the mighty Giovanna, the powerful little goddess. And this is why she's the powerful little goddess. This was many years before she was born. Many. And it went from the birthing room to this, and it was so crazy because I was just like, oh my gosh, this. And I even told my wife, like 5, 6 years old or so, with all this, like, just lion's mane of like red, brown, hair. And I told my wife, she is like half black. My wife's like, well, Sash, she dates black guys. My wife's ultra rational, of like, that makes sense. But I am absolutely I can see it in my mind right now. The vision I seen, and like Maria said, it's not a vision, it's a memory, because it's all already happened, Joe, in one way or another, either simulated or an eternal return. You are eternal return. You just have to return to the positive, good feeling pleasure, and never ever, and remember the lesson, right? To never ever 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 let anything else be your center. What is the face of your soul, the center of your being? The face of your Amor. Right? Because why? You've become one. Not in theory, but in actuality, in life, in truth. And hail to the truthful mother, the beautiful mother. And as I told previous, and I might as well, tell how magical Maria is. Right before that ended, she would always give me like an ending message, like the wheat message. Like, yeah, what's causing their stuff is wheat. You need to stop eating wheat. And I was just like, wow, that's simple. And it worked. If I didn't say that, it really helped them both and me tremendously. And it did completely allow me to start, and I probably was anyway, because, 2/3 of things are just mental. If you think you're allergic to dairy, you will be. And things are just getting worse. Like, people are like, what about wheat? If you think, no, they actually did this on purpose. So you receive the intent, And biology has been fucked up by the very clowns that you're allying with, dumb America. And until you denounce the clowns and the black magic, the simple black magic of the power of suggestion and the power of flattery and the power of money, sex, and power, the trinity of clown face. Clown face is the face projection of mainstream America that must be defeated. It must be driven away, cast away forever and ever. But many years, okay, so I'm kind of remembering. So I think I kind of had it wrong. The night I had the vision, and then, okay, that was in December. And then Mindy, so it wasn't at Mindy's initiation. This is what happened at Mindy's initiation. That was by myself, and I remember telling my wife, I swear to you, the Missouri River Goddess showed me last night, we're going to have a granddaughter, and she's going to have a lot of hair, and she's going to be, biracial or mixed race or what, however, who cares? If you care, you're fucking retarded. If you care the mixture of your DNA, you're retarded. We're all mixed. Every single person on earth is mixed race. There's not one pure raced person on earth. Maria Orsic and the gods of this earth, Lucifer, Diana, have made sure of that. That's a natural fact. And you think that you're going to go back to a pure race absolutely makes you a delusional, out-of-date fool. And all of that was always meant to be the purity of the spirit of race, the spiritual race, which is, like Maria said, let's fucking get serious. What does that mean? It means your practical attitude towards what love means. Huh? That determines your spiritual race. Whether you're from the white light, like she said, you could be the blackest African and you're initiated into the society of the white light. What is the society of the white light? It's a society of healers of all races. Of all that Ra sees, you dumbasses. Like, to section yourself off makes you so boring. Yeah, we section off our energy, not our attitudes, not our curiosity, not our knowledge, not our experience, not anything else. We don't have racial, we're not the ones that made racial laws at all. They're not racial laws on Venus. They're energy laws. You can be cold, black, and transparent white and be of the exact same caste. Oh, what caste? The artist caste, for one thing, let alone all the other caste sections of the masses. The endless masses are the endless mazes that never, ever lead out of here. And let us, okay, I keep forgetting. So maybe 7, 8, 9 months later. Oh no, I guess it was 7 months later, 9 months later, something like that. When after Mindy's initiation, she went home. I was laying in my bed, and Maria was like, "I'm about to leave, and I'll see you next week, and I'll be here next week." I was like, "I'm gonna be here next week." And like 10 minutes later, before she left, she said to me, "Remember, don't ever say anything to your daughter about what you've seen until I tell you." She's like, "Can you hear my voice?" I'm like, "I can hear your voice." And for real, like 20 minutes later, I, kind of forgot about it. I'm just getting a glass of water, and my daughter woke up also to get some water. And Maria's like, well, actually, this is like 20 minutes after she's like, actually, Joe, I was like saying all that 20 minutes ago because today is the day to tell her right now. And I said to her, around Christmas, before Christmas, I had this, out of body experience in the mushroom ritual that she had also experienced. She knew what I was talking about. And I wasn't supposed to tell you particularly until the Missouri River Goddess told me to tell you today, right now. And she's like, what? I go, well, I had a vision that you were having a baby. I seen you have the baby. And then I seen her grow, like as a, 6-7-year-old with all this hair, and she's so beautiful. She was so, and Joey loved her so much. She was, in my vision, she was talking to Joey, like looking up to her grandma, and like the sun was on her, and she goes, and I told this already, but I'm going to tell it again. My daughter said, I can't believe you're saying this. She's like, I just woke up from a dream, and I was dreaming that I was having a baby. She's like, I can't believe you just said that. And that's the magic of Mama, that what? She knows the future of the Matrix. Maria knows the future of the Matrix, and check it out, so do you. Because our lives have been repeating, but I'm telling you, it took me a while, but it's possible. You can break the circles, you can get out of here. And you can get out of here because you can know for a fact, brothers and sisters that vibrate like us, know for a fact that I love you, Maria loves you, and Allah, Lucifer, Yahweh loves you. Peace, love, and light.
Underneath the moonlit sky, feel the vibe. Island breezes whisper low, weaving love's tribe. Mala dance through the night heart, so free. With every sway and step, she's a melody. The rhythm of love, we all belong. River of Amor flowing through our veins. True self reflected in love's strong chains. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwine, carrying through refrains. In the sunshine, we're never lost, just found. Echoes of laughter, we groove to that sound. Colors of the sunset, painting stories deep. With Nana and Maria, alive in our sleep. Nana, na, Tom's pulp, we shine clean. River of the moor flowing through our veins. Oh Shama, do Shama, Stuton way. Oh Shama, the stage was tied in, we find our light. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwine, carry through refrains. Santa SITA, very shot forever bright. Breath of love, we ignite.
Underneath the moonlit sky, feel the vibe. Island breezes whisper low like a life tribe. Nana dance to the night, heart so free. With every sway and step, she's a melody. Roots in the soil, love's the only guide. Na 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 na, guide us home. River of Amor, flowing through our wash away the stains, our souls intertwine, dancing in refrain. In sunshine, we never lost, just found echoes of laughter. We grew to that sound. Colors of the sunset paint the ocean deep. With Nana's spirit, we're awake, never sleep. We rise, no need to hide. The river speaks, it knows our name. Through every wave, we're called to reclaim. River of Amor, flowing through our veins. True self-reflected in love's strong chains. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwine, dancing in refrain. Sunflower, light up and you shine, forever bright. In the rhythm of love we ignite.